WWE 2K23 reminded me that my 8-year-old computer might be struggling to run the latest games. I mean, if it wasn't already obvious by the fact that one of my most popular shorts is about getting 2K22 to run properly, 2K23 has the weird optimization where, if I run it at 720p, typically I can run it pretty smoothly. But, you know, even at top settings, like I can go like Ultra 720p, perfect. 1080p, lowest the graphic settings can go, weird, slightly sluggish, don't know what's going on. Point is, please become a member, or maybe even like donate some money, that'd be great. I can get the computer upgraded. Yes, I'm begging. No, I have no shame. Please help. I mean, you've probably seen the GPU prices. Oh god, do I need help. Not only that, but jeez, are they getting big now. Like, the games for years have been hovering around the 40 to 50 range, with 2K22 just eking over with 51.92 gigabytes on my computer. 79.67 gigabytes. 2K23, what are you doing? That is way too much space to be taking my hard drive. I know I'm spending a lot of time here, like, just talking about specs, but the only other game I've got installed that's bigger is the Master Chief Collection, and that's like 4 or 5 games. I haven't launched it yet, at the time of recording this. Okay, but onto the game itself. Now, the game, pretty good, once again. Now, I admittedly have spent far less time with this than I did with 2K22. Oh, just look at those numbers, amateur hour. But I'd like to think that I've spent enough time now with 2K23 to say that I can generally give it a good rundown. Honestly, if you enjoyed 2K22 and you wondered about moving to 2K23, it's a perfectly good upgrade. Visually, the game has definitely seen an upgrade. In fact, now you can even choose the model quality to choose these higher quality ones, and yeah, there's a very noticeable improvement with the models, honestly. Like, all these John Cenas look bloody lovely, honestly. Now, I don't know for certain, but the controls to me generally felt similar enough to 2K22 that I can generally go back and forth without too much issue. My one gripe is, like, with reversals, I'm used now to the Y button appearing, like, overhead. That's how, like, 99% of the moves are, you know. It appears overhead, you know when to mash it. You won't get it the first few times, but, yeah, once you get the timing down, you're pretty much dead on to getting it a lot of the time. But then, you know, sometimes the moves will pop the Y button down at the bottom of the screen, and it's like, no, you can't do that. I've been trained all my life to focus on the top of my character's head. You can't make me suddenly switch to that. Half the time when that happens, I don't notice it because my eyes are trained somewhere else on the screen. It's a really bad design, honestly, and I really hope they fix that, because that is absolutely something that does me in a lot of the time. Of course, with 2K23 came the inclusion of the WARGAMES match, and oh, that was a much needed inclusion. I love when the wrestling games start bringing in these major gameplay modes. You know, back in the day, it was like the Steel Cage and the Hell in a Cell, and then, you know, like, obviously the Royal Rumble match was a big deal, and that's been in wrestling games for decades at this point. And to have WARGAMES show up is a pretty big deal. Honestly, I'm really glad to see it added in, and overall, I'd say it worked pretty well. Like, I had fun with it at least. Overall, 2K23 I'd say is another recommendation for me, because again, it just gives me everything that I'd look for in one of these wrestling games, and the Create an Entrance is back! Thank you, we're getting somewhere. Maybe have Create a Video not be so balked, or maybe just go all the way with it and let us just create a story, you know, that'd be nice. Maybe add that to 2K24. I know 2K24 is like, oh god, it's in a few months, isn't it? But it's a fun time. I do recommend don't be in my situation and play 2K22 and 2K23 back to back, because it makes it very hard to find stuff to say. The rest of WWE games definitely seem to be on the right track once again. If they're not your thing, then these aren't going to suddenly change your mind. But if these are what you were looking for, if you enjoyed the games since like WWE 12 onwards, then you're probably going to enjoy this one. But if you haven't got the game yet, then I'd honestly recommend waiting for 2K24, because I imagine that game will offer a lot of the creature comforts and a lot more.